Om Bhurбhuvassuham Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonah Prachodayantam. Saram everyone. Continue my memories about Sathya Sai Mama, our beloved Swami. In one of my previous videos, I told you actually that, it was a huge experience for me, not only to meet Sri Sathya Sai himself, to speak with him, to experience so many interviews, but also to meet his great devotees. And of course, any spiritual master is great because he or she has great disciples. Well, Sathya Sai, as we know, he is not just a spiritual master, he's a divine incarnation, the divine incarnation of our time. And it's especially important, I think, to remember his great devotees. And normally I mention few names like Swami Maheshwarananda, author of a great book written in the end of 80s, as far as I remember. The title goes like Sri Sathya Sai and Nara Narayana Guha Ashram. This book is about mysterious Himalayan ashram, cave ashram, established by Sathya Sai. Of course, I always remember Sathya Sai Padananda, about whom I'm going to speak in this video, and of course Ratan Lal, and of course Mr. Subbarao. So many bright personalities, bright names. Well, let me remind you that I'm speaking actually about certain events which took place in 90s. And at that time I was something like 20, 25, then 30 years old, and all that older generation devotees were like 75, 85 years old, much older than me. That was the situation. And today I wish to speak about Swami Sathya Sai Padananda, who lived in the ashram for many years, and I met him in 90s and happily communicated with him for a number of years. His life story was very unusual. His mother was one of the first Sathya Sai devotees. Actually, she came to Puttaparthi when ashram was just under construction. I believe that could be beginning of 50s or something like that. And she immediately understood that Sathya Sai, at that time very young, Sathya Sai was not just saint or spiritual master, but the divine incarnation. When she understood this, mother of Padananda, unfortunately I don't know the name of this wonderful lady, and so she chose to stay there permanently. Her son, Swami Padananda, whom I met in the end of 90s, in the middle of 90s actually. So his son was really enthusiastic spiritual practitioner since his young age. But when Swami Padananda was very young, he was just studying different scriptures, different types of yoga and meditation. He visited Himalayas. Of course, he knew about Sathya Sai, obviously, because his mother was staying there for a long time. But for him, in the very beginning, that was not so obvious that, why I have to stay in Puttaparthi like that, so let me go to Himalayas. But one day, actually, he understood that, the greatest source of grace wisdom is exactly our Swami, so Sri Sathya Sai. And since approximately 60s, actually Swami Padananda was staying in Puttaparthi permanently. Well, one of the most famous, or maybe even the most famous Vedic Hindu festival is Shivaratri, Night of the Lord Shiva. It's a huge story and mythology behind this very important spiritual event. This night actually they count it according to the lunar calendar, and each year it can be different date. I mean, it can be February, it can be beginning of March. So according to the lunar calendar, so it can be different date actually. And this is a night, not day, but night, and 1-2 days before this Shivaratri night. Shivaratri means night of Lord Shiva. Ratri means in Sanskrit night. So there are many also like symbolical events happen, like marriage between Shiva and goddess Parvati, signifying the oneness of consciousness and energy, spirit and matter. So many important things. And the night of Shivaratri, according to the Vedic tradition, is the best night for the meditation. It's like the greatest spiritual realization may happen easily, spontaneously, if you just not sleep, just meditate or practice any mantra this night. Of course, for some people, Shivaratri is a wonderful night to create certain positive intention. I mean to say nothing bad if you have certain goals, if you have certain positive intentions. Okay, then you can use Shivaratri night for that purpose, So it's like different people use vibration of this moment of Shivaratri night in a different way. Okay, and back in the 60s, Sathya Sai was performing, actually a very famous miracle, exactly Shivaratri night. He materialized lingams from his mouth. And the lingam, it's actually egg-shaped, object. And in many different cultures, we can see the importance of, this kind of this shape. And for me, it was always very interesting. Okay, in the 60s, every Shivaratri, means every year, Sathya Sai could materialize 1, 3, 5, sometimes even 6 Shivalingams during, Shivaratri night. And the question was like, okay, what's happened with these huge, objects of huge power? It is, I came to know that some of that Shivalingams Sathya Sai gave as prasadam, as the gift to the different politicians, including Prime Minister. And some of that lingams he gave to the different close devotees. For example, to the Dr. Kasturi, his secretary and the most close helper, well at that time. And one of that lingams Sathya Sai gave exactly to this Padananda, about whom I am speaking in this video. And Sathya Sai actually gave instruction to Padananda, okay, take this lingam, go into your room, just stay there in seclusion for years and years, and just meditate. How? Just take this lingam, the size of that lingam which Sathya Sai gave to Padananda was just pretty small. Just take this lingam, Sathya Sai told to the young Padananda, put it here, touch this place between eyebrows, close your eyes and just meditate. And Padananda actually spent, okay, honestly speaking, I don't know how many, maybe 15, maybe 20, maybe 25 years in seclusion in the ashram. And he was just staying in the room and meditating in this way, touching with this Shivalingam, his place center between eyebrows, just meditating for years. And actually, because of this practice, this Padananda became really great saint. You know, I can't describe my experience, my feeling when I met Padananda for the first time. Then I just started to visit his room, like regularly. It was, in his eyes you could see peace and bliss. His vibration, his aura was extremely powerful and pure. Sometimes people may come in front of public and claim that they're kind of great saints. But you look at them and you can't feel really wisdom, peace, harmony. Because you can say that you are sage or saint, but what is inside your heart? This is the big question. And when I met this Padananda, that time I was maybe 25, and he was for sure more than 75. That was peace, bliss, power. There was no question to ask him, "Oh, Swami Padananda, are you enlightened?" That was not the question. That was obvious for me and for other people who met him, the spiritual power of this man, this great devotee. Okay, his seclusion was quite strict in, I believe, end of 70s and 80s for sure. And something like in the beginning of 90s, when actually I came to Puttaparthi for the first time, it was beginning of 90s. So he sometimes could break his seclusion and just open his doors to the visitors. And that was great opportunity for me and many, not maybe many, but just some devotees, to come to his room. That was very near, actually this room was inside the ashram, very near to the main temple, Darshan Mandir, so-called Sai Kulvant Hall. And the most, cool was that this Swami Padananda, when visitors, I believe twice a week, sometimes thrice a week, it was possible to come to his room. He let everyone to take this mysterious Shivalingam created by Sathya Sai back in 60s and meditate the same way just for 2-3 minutes. And I remember my experiences when I just first time, second time, and then I just keep on coming to him quite often. And I was always meditating, like you take this small Shivalingam, put it to this place between eyebrows and just meditate. And it was huge, because it was huge, so-called Shaktipat. Great power, divine energy was transmitted into you. People could see divine light, cosmic consciousness. It was great, really breakthrough experience for me personally, and for all those people who could come to this room to meet this wonderful person, Swami Padananda. Later on, Sathya Sai actually gave me also Shivalingam, and also taught me the same technique. Just take Shivalingam, keep it here. Okay, let me show you this lingam which Sathya Sai gave to me. It was this lingam. This also materialized lingam by Sathya Sai. So, and later on Sathya Sai gave me the same instructions. Just take this lingam, keep it here, and just meditate. So that's stories for today. Of course, I invite you to download my books. At the moment I have 3 books. I hope will be more. All the links next to the video. It's a free download, so you can just download it, read it, enjoy it, benefit it. So, Sai Ram. See you next time.
Om Bhurбhuvassuham Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonah Prachodayantam